Hi everybody, I'd like you to extend a warm welcome to Mad Max, who is our latest cast member, and we hope he doesn't touch any of the keys. Very good. He has been walking around while I've been various takes, so I decided to just put him in the show. Yes, now his tail is in the show. And I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to our latest cast member, the Tiny Death Star. Yes, this is my new Blue Snowball microphone, and I do sincerely wish that were a sponsored message, but it is not. I got this microphone so that I would not have to worry about modulations in my voice, and so we'll see how it goes. I'm moving it around a lot today, so maybe I'm defeating my purpose. Hey. All right, so I'd like to say it's really good to be back. I know I've been kind of quiet. Now, it's not because I don't do footage every week. I do a lot of takes. It's just sometimes I think that what I say is crap, right? So hopefully this will be a keeper. And how could it not be, right? With a star like Mad Max, who is now opening my bedroom door. Got to get that out of the way. But let's start with YouTube, because if you're watching YouTube, chances are you're like me, you're a big YouTube watcher. What are some of the shows out there you should be watching? Well, I got two for you today. The first one is Philip DeFranco. Now, if you're not watching this guy, you definitely should be. I always do this. Yes, that's how we do. He has a new show that he puts out Monday through Thursday. I think it's Monday through Friday, actually. So it's every day of the work week. And if you're somebody who likes to get up, who likes to get filled in, as he says in his show, this guy is really for you. He's very peppy. He's very dynamic. The show is very condensed. There's a ton of information, but it's done in a really savvy, intelligent way. You've got good news, you've got bad news, you've got weird news. The next show that I think you should be watching now is called In a Nutshell, and it used to have a German name, which was the German name for In a Nutshell, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. The link is in the well below. You can see it. It's a show run by a couple of German geeks, or a bunch of German geeks. I don't know how many there are, actually. I think it takes a lot of work to put together even one of their shows. They cover almost any kind of topic. Why is there life? Is there life on other planets? What does gravity mean? I mean, they do a lot of that sort of educational stuff, but they also cover modern events, Iran-Iraq War, things like that. And they did this video on the refugee crisis that got a lot of visibility. Came up on my Facebook, came up on my Twitter. It was circulating around these different mediums for a while. Now, they only put out once a month because it does take a huge amount of effort and time to put out their videos. They do everything in animation. There's a sort of a British guy narrating, so if you start watching, there are plenty of shows to catch up on, but if you do get caught up, you gotta wait. There's only going to be one out there a month. Okay, so that's what, I think you should be watching on YouTube. Please check out the links in the wall below. And if you'd like to tell me what you thought of those shows, if you go and watch them, I'd love to hear from you. Let's talk about TV. The Walking Dead debuted this weekend. This was a big moment for me. Well, it's actually not a big moment for me yet because I haven't had time to watch the premiere. So if any of you out there have seen the premiere, please don't put spoilers in the comments, and I'm going to be seeing it with my son this weekend. Now, the show I'd like to talk about, though, is another show that you probably have heard quite a lot about. Okay, Breaking Bad is a show, I'm sure, if you've not gotten around to it like I hadn't gotten around to it until just last year, everybody told you need to be watching it. It's such a good show. It has such great dramatic elements. Then you sit down in front of the pilot and it just has a lot of lead in it. So how do you go about watching a show? Everybody's telling you has this wonderful sort of ending and really takes off and blah, blah, blah. When in fact what you're faced with is something like a lead balloon. I mean, let's face it, Walter is not the nicest guy in the world. Having him in your living room every night, even that twangy music just doesn't do much for you. So what I'm here to do is give you a guide if you're one of the people who has missed this show. Okay, there are 3 phases to this. Phase 1. Watch once a week, not more, because Walter just can't be there with you for more than that. This is a guy that manages to make every single situation he's in, no matter how uncomfortable, even more uncomfortable. One of the great things about Breaking Bad is that it's a very dark and funny show. So that is something you can kind of take solace in. There's a lot of dark, funny moments in it. Just kind of ride with it, and you can do that for once a week. Now, after season 2, season 3, which starts our phase 2 viewing, something wonderful happens in season 3, and that is the appearance of Gus. Now, Gus is the counterweight. If you watch The Walking Dead, he's the governor. He is the character that comes in and gives a lot of dimension and depth to that main character who's just out there every week taking up all the oxygen in the screen and in your living room, right? So he is giving Walter a kind of humanity. exposes a lot of his motives. You understand a lot of more about what and why Walter is doing what he's doing, and things start to really snowball. Things start to get going, and suddenly you start seeing why this show has taken the long view, because that's what this show does. It takes the long view. It doesn't give you any ground in the beginning. You're sitting in a suburban world. You don't really like this world that much. Everybody seems to have issues that you sort of want to get away from. So that's where your discomfort's coming from. And when you get into season 3, you start seeing that there's a master plan behind it, that this long view is suddenly coming into focus for the viewer at last. That's when this show really gets sexy. So I hope you're on vacation when you start watching that season 3, because it's really going to pick up. In season 5, final phase, right? Season 5, oh my God, you will not be able to stop watching this show. This is when the show becomes a huge consequence machine. Very, very beginning, you saw why they made those choices, but it really didn't matter to you because that character didn't mean that much to you. Suddenly in season 5, all of those chickens are coming home to roost, and all the consequences are coming out. So these things start to really sort of turn over and over again, and every single episode is just so rich, and it brings you so much. And then you get down to that finale, and ladies and gentlemen, that is when you want to bring popcorn. You want to sit down with somebody you love, or just sit down with somebody you like, or your cat, or whatever, and just enjoy that, because those creators, those producers, Vince Gilligan, they've done so much to make that an enjoyable experience for you. You know, Breaking Bad is not a warm, fuzzy show. Was never intended to be that. I mean, the title, right? Breaking Bad. But it is a very satisfying show in the end, because that finale just answers a lot of questions for you. So you're going to really enjoy that show if you just can stick it out and follow my viewer's guide. Thanks a lot, guys. I really look forward to next time. I'm going to be reviewing Silicon Valley, which is one of these, hey, I'm actually up to date with the TV show. We come for next time. I hope that my footage isn't crap, so that I actually can get another show out to you. Thank you so much for watching the show. I really look forward to hearing your comments. Would love to know what you're thinking of any of this stuff. And I love you guys. See you next time.